Hey there, welcome in. My name's Josh, and today we are talking about just cutting yourself some slack and chilling out because we have really unrealistic expectations for what we think we should be able to do, especially when we're younger and we have all this drive and ambition. So I've said this a lot, but it's kind of something that I personally have been growing through and struggling with a lot over the past year, and that's just the realization that I can't do as much as I think I should be able to do, and then dealing with the frustrations that come with that realization. I'm a really idealistic person and I love scheduling and I make super ambitious calendars and projects and make really ambitious deadlines and think that I should be able to do X by Y, and then most often when that doesn't happen, like I feel like a loser or a failure. I'm like, oh, if only I tried harder, if only I sacrificed more, if only, I did X, Y, Z, then I could have, and being a perfectionist doesn't help with that either. And it's like, you have to be able to realize, I've learned from me personally that I don't really know myself and I don't really know what I'm capable of, which is both an encouraging thing and a discouraging thing. Discouraging in the sense that, you're not as awesome as you wish that you were, but encouraging in the sense that there's more to learn and there's more to discover, and it's a really humbling experience. And as this applies to art, but just like in life in general, it's like, stop trying to get your plan all figured out, because I can't tell you how many times I've made really ambitious plans or really ambitious schedules or really ambitious, things of techniques. I'm going to do this by this time and this and then it doesn't happen for whatever reason, because life happens or because I learned something else or my premise was flawed. It's like, when you're young especially, it's hard to make plans that work. We want to have plans that work. We want to know that if we plan for this, it will happen exactly the way we want it to. But in my personal experience, I've very, 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 very rarely found that to be the case. Even just with YouTube or Twitch of I'll upload this video on this day by this type and this style and this and that changes, and that didn't end up the way that I wanted it to. Or, I'll learn, I thought I was gonna learn about characters first and then I learned about environments first, and now I'm back to characters a year later, and it's I don't know anything. And in terms to of style of oh, I think I like this. I thought I liked semi-realism anime. It turns out I don't as much. I like more stylistic, more on the cartoony side of anime. I still like semi-realism, that doesn't go away, but I didn't even really know what style I liked. So with that being said, especially with style, a lot of young artists are obsessed with style. They want their style to be unique, they want to stand out, and it's you don't know what you like. All your style is you on the page, and if you don't know who you are, you're not going to be able to get a clear style down, and at best you're just going to be copying somebody else. So just live your life and figure out what you like and what you don't and who you are, and the style will take care of itself, so don't even worry about it. Something that I found to be helpful in finding your style and finding a good life balance between chasing your goals as an artist and not hating your life in the meantime and not thinking you're trash, being able to be happy basically while you're not as good as you want to be, is figuring out who you are and why you think the way that you think, and then however, whatever that is, and then applying that towards art. So basically something that I found to be really helpful is taking personality tests. So something like the Myers-Briggs is really helpful, and then the Enneagram is helpful as well. And sometimes they're really accurate and you feel like they describe you to a T. Sometimes you only think they kind of sort of describe you. But if you take some tests like that, it can help you figure out why you think the way that you think. So for me, I'm an ENFJ in Myers-Briggs and I'm a 1 in the Enneagram. And that has been helpful to me in figuring out why I think the way that I think and why I do what I do, and then I can apply that not just to art and improving and scheduling, but also in other areas of my life and figuring out how I can balance and water all the plants that I want to water in my life so that I can actually be balanced and not feel like my entire self-worth and everything in life is hinging on if I make it to the industry or get the job that I want. But it's I don't know, it kind of puts things in perspective and it helps you figure out who you are. And the faster and the better you figure out who you are as a person, the more, first, obviously you'll find your style artistically, whatever that is, you'll find that a lot faster, but you'll also be a lot more confident, you'll be a lot more comfortable in your own skin, you'll be a lot more content. It's kind of like a prereq to everything else in life, so figure out who you are first. And the younger you are, that just takes time. You're in high school, or you're just starting college, or middle school, whatever, when you're coming of age is a thing. Figuring out who you are is a thing, and that impacts your art more than you might realize. So all that to say, you might think you know what you want to be when you grow up. You might think you know what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. But chances are, especially if you're a beginner, chances are, especially if you're young, you really don't have a clue. And that's not to be rude, that's not to be disrespectful, but it's just the reality of like, there is so much that you don't know. And start to put more emphasis and value on things that you don't know than on things that you do know, because especially when you're younger and when you're starting out, you know, you want to have a plan, you don't want to waste any time, you want to get there as fast as possible, and it's like your reason falls in love with itself, but you're not playing with all the cards because you're still young, you still don't know a lot. So find somebody find somebody who does know a lot, you know? Go check out Learn Squared, go look at Schoolism, you know? Go to art school, you know? Look at courses on Lynda or Udemy, you know? Like, find people that do know, that they can start to give you more cards to think about, and then you can then make a plan accordingly. But don't be like me and make a plan and then like get this iron grip on it and be like, this is what it will be like, because especially when it comes to art, or especially when it comes to a new skill, you most likely don't know what that means or if that's possible. So cut yourself some slack. If you're not meeting the goals that you've set, if you're not, you know, being as good as you want to be, if you're not where you think you should be, it's most likely because your premise was faulty. So cut yourself some slack, relax a little bit, still keep that ambition, still keep that drive, still keep going, you know, don't sit on your butt all day, don't just, you know, play video games 24/7, play video games sometimes, you know, to relax, but still have that ambition, still go for it, but just have a healthy confidence in that you don't know as much as you think you do, and that's okay, and that's a good thing, and just try to relax. Okay, just cut yourself some slack. That's it for this week. I hope this video helped you. If you like it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the stuff you do on YouTube anyway. I have a Twitch, I have a Patreon, and I also have a Discord. So if you want more of me, be sure to check those out, and I'll see all of you next time.